a bombshell that has left admirers in full shock. It's so combustible to the point where it's upending the entire hip-hop and love universe in terms of covert and behind-the-scenes connections. Safers, you might think you've heard it all. But we're referring to a special live webcast from Tearfield that has gone. Erica, who went viral, looked directly at the camera. Her eyes flaming and her lips trembling, whispered that I had a covert relationship with menstruation, something no one ever expected. The internet immediately went viral. But Erica wasn't done, because of what she revealed next didn't just shake the Erica assertions, which absolutely flipped the table. In addition, they were covertly while admirers tried to put together the circumstances. She not only had a romance, but also gave birth to his child. Nobody was aware of a child who was kept in the shadows. Celebrities began leaving comments on the timeline with mysterious posts. When Yandy finally entered the chat, the chaos just became worse. This was the dark side of everything. Was a whole second family being hidden by men, DC? And why did Erica choose to make the information public immediately after? When Mena revealed the shocking information during her live show, fans online went bananas. Yandy became incoherent after witnessing every move of Mena as they tried to comprehend what they had just heard. The statements echoed like a detonator. For years, they had been secretly dating men vesties, and in a faltering voice, Erica acknowledged that we had a baby, and I will no longer keep it a secret. Enough is enough. We're serious. No one saw this coming or expected it to happen. But suddenly, in the last seasons of Love and Hip Hop, everything started to make sense, even the tiny things. Hidden tension, late-night phone chats, and glances had all been warning signs, but suddenly becoming evident, and the situation was more messier than anyone could have imagined. This was not a typical circumstance. This drama revealed secret lives and was more than just a simple dispute between two women over a man. Dangerous facts that upended the cornerstone of reality TV eras. She says she and Mendick started dating years before to this dramatic live broadcast, when his intermittent relationship with Yandy was at its lowest. Erica's statement that it all began simply with two people gave solace to the man who had always been the center of attention. Individuals learning that it wasn't planned. Erica, however, they found comfort in each other's company amid tumultuous times. Explained at times in a calm but forceful manner that we just bonded when it should have been just friends. But we eventually grew beyond that. The relationship started over late-night phone calls and text messages, meetings that were hidden from the cameras. Capturing Erica's distress at her own breakup with Safari was recent, putting them both in danger. And Menzies, was they? Found one other's weakness while juggling legal matters that threatened to ruin his world. However, Erica claims that as things deteriorated over time, the meetings weren't innocent. Meanies warned her more frequently that their relationship with Yandy was almost over, declaring, "I'm done." Erica initially hesitated to trust him, but she later admitted that it was just for the cameras. "But now you and I were real." However, he convinced her that his relationship with Yandy had been limited to the fact that he even publicized by assuring her that he would break up with her and make things right, wanted to trust him. Erica said, shedding tears for their time together, "He was everything he needed when he professed his love for me and made it seem like I was the one he was meant to find to be with." Yet everything was a lie, at least according to Erica's perception. Have since continued their romance in private. According to Erica, even throughout the trip, private moments were kept hidden from Yandy and the world at large. However, when Erica discovered that everything she had anticipated had changed, and she started to worry that she wasn't certain of what to do, since she feared the consequences rather than just getting engaged in the drama while pregnant. But she was shocked by Mena's response when she told him not to freak out. When she revealed that he couldn't leave and chose to stay. "Don't worry, we'll figure this out. Work for a split second." It seemed as like gorgeous Mendesk was supporting her even as she was attending doctor's appointments because Erika felt as like she was living in a bubble. Believing that the man she had fallen for was finally acting. The bubble cracked when she spotted Menzies and Yandy together on the red carpet, smiling for the cameras. Erika was horrified and taken aback by the hard fact that he had never done anything. "He just forgot about us," Erika said sourly. Pretending she didn't exist, he went back to Yandy as though nothing had happened. As though I hadn't, Erika began to question whether men could see everything and had genuinely cared when the baby wasn't there. Erika said. For her, why would he go back to Yandy without hesitation if he had been honest? Despite the tragedy devastating since it had an impact on his family, which he built with Yandy, in addition to the man she loved, was considerably more agonizing because, whether she knew it or not, Yandy had played a role in their lives. Nevertheless, Yandy saw weighed the situation seemed to be handled further complicated things because Erika claimed to have known that Yandy had suspicions about something. And one day she went up to Erika, but no one had expected it when she showed up at my door. Erika recalled her voice. And she gave me a shaky look with recollections without yelling or yelling. "I always knew," she added. "But you think I didn't see it, that I didn't know what he was doing?" Yandy's response, although acknowledging something that had been simmering for a while. The attitude was more resigned and cold than surprised when Yandy said she wasn't mad. "At me?" Erika was shocked, whispered, wiping at her eyes. "I knew he would do this. But I didn't anticipate you becoming involved. She informed me of this disaster." Erika claims the altercation finished with Yandy. She promised not to tell anyone about it and walked away with the words, "If thou escapes, it will destroy everything. Destroy him. Destroy the kids, will destroy everything we've built over the years." The secret was kept hidden under a number of social media posts, including family photographs. And Erika and Yandy said nothing during the staged hip-hop and love drama. Both women pretended to be in front of the cameras. When Erika's kid was born, they were both clinging to a cruel reality behind closed doors. Even if nothing was wrong. According to Erika, Mems was there. But he was only there for a little period of time. The baby was quickly held in the hospital, kissed his forehead, and then disappeared as soon as he arrived. "He left, I didn't hear from him for weeks," Erika revealed, and although I was convinced that years later, he wouldn't come back with Erika. And he wasn't afraid that she had kept the secret for so long. All was exposed time, but now she wanted everyone to know that he can't just. What would Yandy do next remained a mystery as they waited. No one else broke the silence the day following Erika's live webcast, in contrast to Yandy Smith-Harris, who had always known for her calm demeanor. She rarely reacted hastily, and this instance was no different. Her response was purposeful, but this time it was utterly unexpected. Instead of directly mentioning the affair, Yandy posted a frightening yet enigmatic comment on Instagram, noted that there's always more to a story than the infant, or even the truth will come to light when it should. For now, my family and I are focused on the future. Fans were shocked by this. What did she mean? Nobody knew if this was a veiled attempt to deny charges, or whether it was a validation of Erika's claims. Yandy made it clear that she wasn't going to give up easily, and as the days passed, her cryptic comments only increased people's curiosity. He had not yet dealt with any of the persistent minds that were still stealing the accusations. Others speculated that he was waiting to talk until the situation had calmed down. They believed he was making every effort to protect his family's reputation, yet the longer he stayed silent, the more doubt his sincerity. And then, right when the stress seemed unbearable, new development was disclosed by an unnamed source close to Mendez and Yandy, who shared an audio recording of a private tech conversation that allegedly took place between Yandy and the captured men months before they fought over the affair, and shared on other gossip websites. When Mendy hears the child in the video say, "I never Meant I made a mistake that led to this point, but it's over, right? And I don't want to lose everything because of it. Yandy's cold, cunning response was, I know you've already lost on me and that you've also lost her. Social media was buzzing about the release. You did what you did, but I'm not playing these games with you anymore. Supporters who weren't sure about what to believe now that there was undeniable proof. Mena had been aware of the issue from the start. It wasn't only some minor error, but it was a persistent issue that had existed for a lot longer than anyone realized. And Yandy Sash, worst thing about Malek's fallout was that fans were furious immediately. And it seemed like everyone was taking viewpoints. Yandy was defended by those who stated she had every right to be upset and that she was merely attempting to keep her family safe. Other people followed Erica in accusing DCs of years of influencing both women for their own benefit, with no real ramifications, and Men DC eventually stepped up when it appeared that the world was split, but his statements merely made things worse. Men DC's addressed the scandal in a video that was released to his Instagram account, Vaver. Rather of showing contrition or giving a meaningful statement, he came out as contemptuous and defensive, saying, Pipa den. You can easily assess from the outside, but you don't know the actual situation. He commented in a flat tone, sure, I'm not perfect and I've made mistakes, but I've also attempted to repair them. Fans were upset, feeling fooled, not just by his actions, but also by all of us activities, but his lack of accountability appeared to divert responsibility, as if the dispute between Erica and the rest of the world could be ignored as things between Mundisk and Yandy reached a breaking point. Social media was inundated with impassioned replies. Erica's supporters strongly defended her, although Yandy's followers kept applauding her for revealing her truth at last. But the fact Erica's future remained unknown. The drama extended beyond disclosing the secret relationship, which was about taking back control of her life. Throughout the drama that had been manufactured for her, she was more than simply a victim. She was a lady who had taken action, and she was now resolute to make sure her child would not be removed from narrative regardless of the cost, Erica said. I'm not doing this for Theo appreciates the compliments or the attention. Or Yandy attempted to conceal the reality, said, I'm doing this for my son. He deserves the truth just like I do. Ha said the question at hand was whether Yandy and Mena would ultimately pay for their deeds or would. Regardless, despite the cracks in their facade, they'd try to keep up a picture-perfect family image and live in denial. The tension in this high-stakes drama grew as the stakes rose, and everyone was anticipating what would happen next, and Mendeshi's video sparked an immediate and severe criticism from fans. The story that started as a whispered rumor had altered, and those who weren't sure were now vehemently taking sides, resulting in a full-fledged media storm. But Erica stayed firm throughout it all, unrepentant for her decision to speak the truth. But despite the fact that she gained greater support, the primary worry on as she encountered additional challenges. Everyone wondered if Men and Yandy would finally come forward or continue to lie in the hopes that Erica's suffering would come to an end. It was about surviving not only the truth now, and she was conscious that the relationship was in jeopardy. She had previously seen backstabbing and deceit in the hip-hop industry. But this, she wasn't just an outsider because she was at the center of the story and knew it would make or destroy her. During one of her interviews, Erica said, I've been terrified of losing love my entire life, but I'm not scared if she was different from them. But I'm not doing it anymore because she was becoming less respected, and the woman who initially entered the scene all those years ago was naive and optimistic. But now she was a strong force, and anyone who tried to weaken her would see how resilient she was. In the meanwhile, Menzies' calm becoming unbearable after his initial post. He didn't provide any more content. Not even he appeared to be hiding while trying to manage the problem he was in, as evidenced by a tweet or an update on his Instagram had created, but it was becoming clear that people began to regard him less the longer he said nothing. One admirer referred to him as a coward. He made a mistake and is now acting as though he didn't. As though he couldn't even take Erica into consideration if he really loved her, accountability, and defend his son. But the media was unable to prevent him from hiding behind Yandy's skirts, continue promoting the unsolved drama with a title that reads, "Fans desire answers after affair revelation." But the fact that DC is still mute has just made his situation more stressful, because whether he intended to or not, he had become the story's enemy. Rather than stunning the public in the middle of all the chaos, Yandy's next move, rather than immediately speaking to the media, Yandy went into damage control mode after confronting Erica, posting several pictures of her family, children, and only learns about Mena's on Instagram family. But the captions were vague, yet incredibly moving. Stated, "I'll fight for it, my family, no matter what." Yandy's was trying to project an image of strength, showing that, despite everything that had come to light, Main's reaction to her standing tall and protecting her family was unimpressive. Many thought it was an attempt to distort the truth and pretend that nothing had happened. One of her supporters posted the following comment, "Happened. How do you tell when your partner deceives you like this? Yandy betrays you both. And you're behaving as though family is everything these days." The tension between Yandy and Erica was palpable and extended beyond a straightforward argument because everything is being watched on the public. Sentimental posts, he simply disappeared, leaving fans to conjecture as to see if he was waiting for the storm to pass or if G had already lost everything and Yandy spoke loudly. She continued to share on social media how her family continued to support her no matter how many she shared pictures of men and their children that demonstrated how the strains in their relationship were becoming increasingly obvious. As well as Erica, who started this dispute, had no intention of backing down and was committed to seeing it through to the end. "I'm staying, Erica, and I've declared that this is also my story, which I will share as the days pass." It was clear that no matter how hard someone tried to hide it, the truth eventually came to light because of the tension that was the. Supporters were incensed as the Yandy and Erica Mena debate escalated to a breaking point. Mendescus, the public, and everyone else appeared to have forgotten that there was still one final twist. Since they were so exhausted, Yandy was only exacerbating the last argument, which would either completely destroy the family's relationship or be gone. Erica's lengthy recuperation since she had officially admitted to the affair. There was no turning back, showed that the baby and the ideal family picture of men, DC, weren't what they appeared to be. But the battle wasn't over. Regaining control over her life and tale was more crucial than disclosing anything in the weeks that followed. The fact that Erica persevered in posting updates on her social media, a single mother proving her tenacity and proudly rearing her son. Despite the fact that her admirers were constantly Erica, who was there to assist her, realized that she was fighting the entire system that had caused her to feel that way. Yandy is viewed by males as a supporting role in someone else's narrative, but not just by men. His absence from social media indicated that his prolonged silence was having a detrimental effect. Some coworkers and some supporters speculated that he was trying to patch things up privately with Yandy, while others believed he was waiting for the right moment to address the controversy. But as time passed, he did so regardless of how much those who had previously supported him began to question his integrity as it became clear that the damage had been done. His refusal to take accountability in public only served to widen the gulf between himself and his fans. Yandy was struggling to maintain the image she had put so much effort into creating, and her articles regarding the more she tried to be the perfect wife, the more her commitment and family love seemed to be a facade. Some questioned how long she would stay with Mena's after more people noticed the cracks in her relationship, pretending that, although some believed she was just acting for the cameras, others believed everything was a touching reunion special.